Rumuepirikom is a community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State, Nigeria. The kingdom is one of the most blessed in Rivers State, producing a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Governor of Rivers State simultaneously between 2011 and 2019. The maiden edition of Rumuepirikom Festival, which was initiated by Chief Honorable Prince Weli Wosu-led Epirikom Community Development Committee, is aimed at showcasing and bringing back to life the cultural heritage of the people of Rumuepirikom Kingdom.
It has not been there before, so when I came on board as the Kingdom Chairman, I felt that it's necessary for us to go back to our roots, because I found out that we were losing the culture and tradition of our people in terms of gathering. So I proposed it and took it to the authorities, and the council approved that yes, that this is a good thing that we need to have in this kingdom. So that is where we started, and you can see that the people are enjoying it, are happy, having it.
The cultural life of the people of Rumuepirikom Kingdom can be said to be very rich due to its prominence in the entire Ikwere ethnic nationality, with beautiful cultural dance and traditional wrestling prowess. Rumuepirikom ranks top in cultural exhibition in Ikwere ethnic nationality.
We intend to achieve togetherness, because with that it brings everybody together. Where there is no gathering, there's bound to be problems. Where there's no God, where people laugh, share things together and happy with each other, that means there is bound to be problem in such a place. So this is giving us unity.
The Maiden edition of Rumuepirikom Festival featured Peace Rally.
We have decided to gather this morning so that we'll have rally to commence our festival, which has started today. It is a way of bringing our community together. It's part of the things that make us live in peace by bringing us together. And because this period is a period where you have more of the holiday time, where people rest, so we decide to put it within this time. What we intend to achieve is continual peace in our community, unity among the people, which we've been enjoying for some time now. My call to them is that we should do it peacefully and ask people to turn out en masse.
This event shows how united the community is right now and how the government of the day have put everybody to proper understanding that in unity we can move forward.
Traditional wrestling.
Wrestling is one of the cultural heritage our forefathers preserved, and that is what we are doing today. And wrestling is one of the culture in Ikwere land that brings people together, that unites people. That is exactly what we are doing today. And if you can see, you see mama crowd around us to speak well of what I've just told you, that wrestling brings people today is a sign of unity and love and peace. The program, we started in the morning with a road walk. You know, we rallied around Rumuepirikom to showcase what is about to happen. That is the starting point of the end of year activity of Rumuepirikom Kingdom. So, like I said before, this is to unite us. This is to bring peace, and this is to say that we imbibe in the spirit of our forefathers.
I pray, or it's my wish, that the people who will succeed me or after, like that, let it continue, so that to foster unity and oneness in the kingdom. Yes, it is my wishing that they should have such thing continue, allow it to continue. Annually, every December, we are looking forward that after some time that our children who are not really known about our cultures as it were, that look, my people, normally every December you come and have this activity or the other, and then it calls for them coming back, not only because they want to do Christmas, no, they should be looking forward for things like this, and some will participate, because if there's something like this, some will learn how to dance, equally dance, learn other part of our culture or activities we do in the kingdom. So that is our own part of marking the Christmas as a holiday too.
Cultural dance.
It is publicly clear that education is a very, very, very packaged and most beautiful function I've seen within this December period. I've gone even this morning, I was in a function, equally a chairman of that particular function, and what I've seen here today is an encouraging one that Rumuepirikom women are going somewhere, and it's a cultural thing that we need to encourage in all ramification. They really did well, wonderfully well.
Novelty Football Match. Symposium and dinner and award night. The 4-day event, which began with a peace rally round the communities that make up the kingdom in the morning hours of Thursday, 26th December 2019, with wrestling competition in the evening of the same day, featured a symposium on drug abuse and domestic violence on its second day, with representative of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency as keynote speaker and wife of the Rivers State Governor, Her Excellency Honorable Justice Suzette Eberichi Nyesa Wike as guest speaker and special guest of honor, while the representative of the NDLEA delivered lecture on drug abuse. The First Lady of Rivers State spoke on domestic violence on Friday, 17th December 2019 at Rumuepirikom Civic Center.
Your Excellency, sir, this program is just a simple one for those that understand it's simple. Some people may think it's very difficult. Why I say it's simple? Because it's just things that happen daily on our environment. You know what the drugs have been doing to our people. That is why we have asked the people in charge to come and talk to us, for us to understand the need, whether it is profitable to do it or not. The next thing again is about the domestic violence. The violence, men, what they do to women. The women do, there are powerful men that do to men. So it's two ways. It's not only one side. Yes, some men may not tell you, but when people are so that is why we have asked our Excellency to come and talk to us too. Let us also understand when to do and when not to, or what to do and what not to do to ourselves. So it's just a simple one. So you are welcome. Thank you and God bless.
What is drug? A lot of people will say, drug no be medicine. Drug now, Panadol now, paracetamol. But what we are talking about today goes beyond that. So, to a medical practitioner, to a doctor, to those that are in charge of medicine, they will tell you that drug is chemical preparation for diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of diseases. That is what drug is. Which means drug is positive, isn't it? Drug is good for us because it is used for diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of diseases. Like I said, a layman will say drug na medicine. Now, but to us in NDLEA, we will say any chemical substance, natural or synthetic, it could be derived from animal or plant, which when taken into the body modifies the person's behavior and or the psychological state of the individual. So which means beyond treatment, prevention and diagnosis of diseases, drugs have the effect of modifying something in your system. And so it could be positive or negative depending on the use. And that's why we are talking about this issue, because drug is good, but if you use it wrongly, it becomes a problem. I just want to be fast because of the time constraint. Now, the definition is all encompassing because drugs is used to cure illness, diagnose disease, relieve pain, prevent diseases, induce sleep, or generally keep us healthy. And that is what we have said here. Drug is good because it can generally keep us healthy. It can do a whole lot of things to us. Now, what is drug abuse? If drug is good and we abuse it, why would we say somebody has abused drugs? Just like I said earlier, it is good, but if you take it in the wrong way, it becomes a problem, and that is when it becomes abuse. So, drug abuse can be defined as the improper use of both licit and illicit drugs. Licit and illicit drugs. When we say licit, we mean legally permissible. And then when we say illicit, it means legally prohibited. Which means some drugs are permitted that we should use. And there are some that they say you should never touch. And so, but whether you use the permissible one or the prohibited one,
as long as you use it in an improper manner, you have abused drugs. So there are three things, that make up drug abuse. Now, when it is used without medical reason, without medical purpose, when it is used for non-medical purpose or not medically necessary, you just wake up, you decide to take drug. For what? Nothing. Somebody will wake up and decide to take tramadol. You are not sick. Tramadol is used to relieve pain, especially for women in labor and accident victims. You don't have headache in any form. Even if you have headache, you shouldn't use tramadol. You are not in any kind of pain. You wake up and you take tramadol. It becomes what? Drug abuse. Now, another thing that makes us drug abuse is when its use is legally prohibited. We saw earlier somebody smoking in home. It is prohibited. If you take cocaine, if you take heroin, it's prohibited. If you take any prohibited drug, you have abused drug. And then the third one, which is very, very common amongst us here, is when it is excessively used. Example of this one is kola nut. I know a lot of us will say, kola nut, aji of macro drug, so which means we are all abusing drug. But it is regarded as socially acceptable drug, which means we cannot arrest you for touching kola nut. We cannot. We cannot arrest you for drinking alcohol, which is also in this class. If you smoke cigarettes, we will not arrest you. If you drink coffee, we will not disturb you. But the key word is moderation. Take what your body can carry. If you are taking alcohol, of what joy will it give you that after drinking alcohol, you start rolling inside gutter? Of what joy will it give your parents, or your wife, or your husband, or your family members, or even Nigeria as a whole, that you as an individual that is expected to contribute usefully to the development of this country will go about rolling inside gutter just because you have access to alcohol? Please, if you are in that habit, try to stop it. Take what you can. If you know you cannot, please avoid it. It is not compulsory that you must drink or smoke. It is not. But if you must use it, please use it in moderation. Take what your body can carry. A young boy of 16 years old was brought to a rehabilitation center. Usually when somebody is admitted, we run a series of tests to identify the type of drugs he's abusing, how long he has been abusing it, and then we also try to identify if the person has any disease as a result of using drug or generally. And so, after we ran tests, we discovered that he was abusing cocaine. Tests also revealed that he was HIV positive. 16 years old. And after examining him, we discovered that, or after investigation, we discovered that he had never been with a woman. He had never slept with a woman. So, how did he contract HIV? In course of investigation, he revealed that there were 5 friends abusing cocaine. They didn't have money to buy enough for each of them. So they bought quantity for one person, dissolved it, injected it into that person, and extracted his blood and shared it amongst themselves. And that was how this young man contracted HIV. And to him, he was feeling happy, feeling high, that he is enjoying himself. But he has contracted HIV. Now, for those that smoke cannabis, don't forget that hepatitis can be transmitted from person to person through blood or through saliva. So if you smoke and you give to your friend to smoke, if you have hepatitis, your saliva touches that cigarette and he takes it, he will be infected. So you see, all these things, smoking is a very dangerous habit that can cost you your life. So as a young man, and you feel that, look, you're feeling high, you're enjoying yourself, this is your time to enjoy. Don't forget, grave is not too far from your leg. This is a lady that took tramadol, excess tramadol, and here she is on the streets, rolling on the ground. How can a lady do this? What will this lady grow up to be? She cannot be good mothers like you. She cannot be a good mother. She cannot, represent womanhood with this. Unfortunately, a lot of our women are abusing drugs. So many of them. United Nations Office on Drug and Crime have revealed that 14.3 million Nigerians are abusing drugs as of today. 14.3 million Nigerians. 14.3 million Nigerians. And amongst this group, women make up about 30%. 30%. If you go to our universities, you see some ladies, after taking Rohypnol, you see that they have blue tongue or green. Rohypnol is very, very dangerous for a woman. It's called date rape drugs because it does not have taste, it does not have smell, but it's used to paralyze somebody. It is actually used for operation, surgery, to paralyze the individual so that surgery can be carried out effectively without the person feeling the pain. Now, people will go take these drugs and use it. Why it's called date rape drug is that if a woman uses it, 20 men can sleep with that woman and she will wake up and not know what happened to her. That is how bad it is. But it's not the worst. The worst is that that drug would destroy her ability to conceive and have children. And so tomorrow, after taking Rohypnol, you'll get married. To have your children, wahala, you start running to go and sow seed. Ladies, please be careful. Now, drugs. There are various classes of drugs, but because of time, I will not want to go too much into them. We have the narcotics, stimulants, depressants, hallucinogens, anabolic steroids, cannabis, inhalants, and non-conventional drugs. But I'm just going to talk about cannabis because it lives with us. It is here in our country. If you are a landlord and you permit somebody to stay in your house as a tenant and sell drugs, if the person is arrested, you are also liable because you have aided the sale of drugs. So, one of the ways that we can eradicate drugs in our society is that every landlord should make sure nobody is allowed to sell drugs in his premises. And if we all do that, then our society will be free from drugs. Is that not so? Very simple. And then there is another one that is 10 years and below, like obstruction, impersonation, escape from lawful custody. Now, obstruction, NDA has encountered very serious situation where when we go to arrest somebody, you see the group of boys there will come out. Whether they know or not, they will come out and join to fight us. We have even lost our personnel as a result of this attack. It is not good. That man is selling for himself. Just because if you call, he will give you 500 naira, 1,000, you are so happy. But he's there selling drugs. And then when we go to pick him, if you check, NDLA does not go to any innocent person's house. Nobody that is arrested that will say, I am innocent and NDLA picked me. So why should you stop us from picking that person from your premises? And don't forget that when somebody is smoking here, and he's smoking Indian hemp and he's puffing it out, and you say, they don't smoke again. One day NDLA will catch on. But you are perceiving the smoke, and that's why you know they are smoking. You are a second-hand smoker. And as a second-hand smoker, that thing that will happen to the person smoking will also happen to you. So don't say, Abasala, it don't concern me. It concerns you because it may take time, but it will affect you. How about your children? There are mothers here. How about your children? We have had a situation where a 5-year-old boy was sent on an errand, and when he came back, when he was bringing out change from his pocket, Tramadol fell off his pocket. The adult said, who gave you this? He said, they give us who they use play ball now. So at that level, they have started introducing children to drug abuse. How will you feel if your child, whom you did child education for, you were jubilating that you have a child, a male child, or even a female, and tomorrow the person turns out to be an addict? How will you feel? Do you realize the 9 months you have carried that child and all the stress you passed through nursing that child? So parents, watch our children, search their bags, enter their rooms unannounced. When you see them changing behavior, investigate them, listen to them. Now some parents, mother and father go to work, and then they come back late in the evening. The child will go to mommy, say go to your father, daddy, go to your mother. And you don't listen to your child. Maybe somebody wanted to give him drug, and then you say, let me tell mommy, and you push him away. Let me tell daddy, you push him away. He will go back to that person. And the person will tell you, your parents don't love you. I love you better, take. And he will kill your child for you. We pray that that does not be our case in Jesus' name. Amen. So, to round up, let me also say here that if we all work together, if we all contribute our own quota, we will be able to stop this problem. It's not bigger than us. I remember when Ebola came into Nigeria, you see the force with which every Nigerian fought it. Nobody wants to touch the other person again because your sweat will give you Ebola. Nobody wants to shake hands again. If you treat drug abuse and trafficking in the same way, we'll be able to curb the problem of reducing to the barest minimum or possibly eradicate it. Please, as much as possible, support NDLEA. Give us information. Let us come and remove those people that are in your midst and killing you. As you go, may your family members remain drug free in Jesus' name.
Domestic violence can be defined as the violent or aggressive behavior within the home, because we're talking about domestic, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or a partner. But that's kind of limited because we can have domestic violence occurring between a parent and a child. Say madam at home and her house help, between two siblings in the family, anything that can happen between two persons in a domestic environment where there's a show of aggression or a show of violence that can result maybe in physical beating or otherwise. That can be called domestic violence. In some climes, it is acceptable to a certain degree. Even in Nigeria, we have some decided cases where some judges have held that a man can discipline his wife, but that it should not be aggravated, it shouldn't be grave to the extent where the woman has an injury or a permanent scar. In other words, no wound your wife while you do that slight beating. But these days now we find out that it is not tolerated anymore. Nobody wants it anymore. And people are beginning to speak up and speak out. And now they are going against a culture of silence. So now we're beginning to speak up and say, look, we don't want this. Especially the women, they are becoming more vocal. Nobody is settling for it. But we have to say that it is not an acceptable way to behave. We shouldn't be violent towards each other. So now, things are changing, like I have said. The world is changing, it's moving very fast. And nobody accepts any violence between spouses anymore. Like the chairman said, violence can occur from a man as the violator against his spouse, his wife. It can also be vice versa because women have been known to beat up men. It's sad because you know, the men most times don't speak up for fear of being ridiculed or being put to shame. And they stick with it and just swallow it and don't make any noise about it because they don't want people to know that their wives sometimes abuse them. But it is not something to be ashamed of. Chairman said they'll be dying in silence. I hope you don't want to do that. Because we'll be reporting our sister every 6 months. But it's not a weak position to take to make a report because, you know, 2 wrongs will make it right. If somebody is being violent towards you, and you respond in light terms, it will aggravate the situation and it will get even worse. And that's where you hear that people are killed in the process. Some of our women will say, manage, that's how marriage is. Just take it easy, endure. And then the wife will endure until one day we will hear that she has been beaten to death. We should all look out for each other and speak up for each other and not tolerate it and encourage each other to stand up against violence. Violence can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can even be economic. Of course, the physical one, we understand it. You slap me, or you give me a blow, or you kick me, or you just beat me up. That's physical, you feel physical pain. It can be emotional. When you see your wife and say, look at you. See as you sit down for have to chop my food, they fat. Go see what your mates they do for outside. That's emotional violence. Because you're violating that woman and you're making her feel smaller than she is. It can also be psychological. You know, a sister-in-law sees another person say, ah, your body good though. See how she does it fresh now, just to chop my brother on me anyhow. That's also violence. It may seem like it is mild, but you cannot tell what that will do to that other person that is on the receiving side. It can also be economic. A man that marries a woman and says, ah, I'm a big man, I have all the money in the world. You don't need to work. Stay at home. Don't go anywhere. If it is the woman's decision, together with the husband, to do that, it is fair, no problem. But when a woman is forced to stay at home and do nothing, that's where you can call it economic violence, because you're preventing her from actualizing herself, her potentials. There's some men that will see an opportunity for their wives to move up, maybe in their jobs or another level, and then they will say, ah, this one, if I allow her, see how she's behaving already. If she goes higher, will I hear what in this house again? You know, it's not a good thing. Or you say, no, you must cook my food before you go to church. You won't want to go to church, you know, and finish and come back or have to do, say no, before you go, just to make her not to go to church. That's also a show of violence. So it doesn't have to be physical. It's not only by beating somebody, there are other ways that you can violate somebody. So we need to understand that these vices like violence and the drug abuse that has been spoken about, they are killers and destroyers of the nucleus family. The man who spoke, Mr. Rumuepirikom, he said something about people who walk about naked and they're not even aware that they're naked. But the relations of those people are embarrassed and they're saying, how are people looking at us? My brother is on the streets walking about naked. That affects the family. It's the same thing with violence. When you beat up a woman and the children see you beating up their mother all the time, they cannot be happy. They cannot be happy. They might take sides. They may be sympathetic with their mom, or they will support their father, depending on how they see whatever it is that caused the problem. But it is actually bad training for your children when you allow them to see you even argue. The law also compels the government to provide institutions to provide welfare services to victims of domestic violence. At this time, His Excellency is in the process of building safe homes for women who find themselves in this situation so that they can go to a place and get some respite, they can rest, they can stay with their children until they can be settled, you know, maybe back into the home after undergoing counseling, and after the man maybe have undertaken or pledged to stop that violence at or resettling them somewhere else. Okay, so we should also be one another's keepers and report any form of violence to the nearest police station. The good thing about this violence against persons prohibition law when it comes to pass is that it's not only a parent that is compelled or that should be mandated with the responsibility of reporting, you know, any form of rape or defilement of his child or her child to the police. anybody can report. Even a neighbor that is looking and seeing and looking at the movement that anytime this madam goes to work, there's this man that comes around, and the next thing you start hearing the baby crying, and you will wonder what's going on until you need the baby will stop crying. Like it's on a daily basis, you're suspecting something, that something is not right. Even as a neighbor, you're not a member of the family, you can take it up and go and report. So don't be quiet. You see something that is not all right, you should speak up. We can also report to our traditional rulers, and I'm sure that they're already dealing with instances like this. We can report to community-based organizations. If we know any organization that is in the business of helping women that are being violated, or children, or even men, we can report to them to see how they can help us and access any support they can give us. Also to the church, that's also a good place to report. So you must say something to somebody. Don't keep quiet when you see something that is abnormal. As neighbors, we must rise up to and protect one another. And parents, I want to advise, we should not shut our children up. There have been instances where a child will come to their parent and say, Mommy, this man did like this to me or like that to me. And they'll say, shut up, what are you saying? Especially if it's the husband's brother, it's an uncle. You keep quiet, what do you know? You know, I even had the instance when I was in secondary school. Then I was not developing as fast as my mates. You know, so I was quite flat-chested at the time I was 12, 13. And I had this lecturer that he touched me in a way that I didn't like, using me as an example, as he said. And he was speaking French, it was a French class, and he was saying, blouse, I said, a blouse. I could repeat after him, head, shoulder, knees, and toes, you speak in French. And this blouse, you pinch my nipple, as he's pulling my blouse to show the class as an example. He did it the first time. I was not sure that, you know, he did what he did, because I told myself, it's not possible. How can he touch me like that? So it must be a mistake. And I let it pass. He went again, head, shoulder, knees, and toes, came back, I was talking about other parts, and then he pinched me the second time. I didn't even realize when my hand went up, I gave him a slap. Before he was like, what did I give him another slap? He wanted to, I gave him yet another slap, and before we both got on the floor. I used to wrestle one time. Now I'm not so strong anymore. We used to go home now, every once a year, and we'll be wrestling, we'll be watching them, we'll come home, we'll practice at home. So the man was in shock. By the time I threw him on the floor, he did not know what hit him. And I refused to stand up. I was on top of him until the other teachers came and dragged me off him. Because I knew if I let him go, of course, now I'll be done for, because he did not tell me he's a man. The man pulled my head, dragged me, took me to the staff room, told me to kneel down. And I was trying to explain what caused me to behave the way I was behaving. Nobody believed me. Female teachers, they were telling me, shut up, look at that, your flat breast. What is there? How will a man touch them? They will not see the better breast in church. Is this one, you know? But some men can be mischievous. Now we see them doing it with 6 months old baby. So me, I'm even old. At that time I was old. You know? Too old for a man to touch. But it happened. And the female teachers will not believe me. And they punished me. So now what are you telling that child? You're telling her, when somebody does this to you, you cannot speak up. Shut up and take it. Which is not a good thing. That's a wrong message that we're sending. I have to give that example so that we can understand what I'm saying. When your child is telling you something, listen. Because if you love your neighbor, you won't steal from him. If you love your neighbor, you won't go and defile his daughter. You will not rape somebody. You will be kind to people. So let us all live in love, and let's all continue to spread love and continue to give love, especially now that it's the Christmas season. And of course, continue to spread awareness of domestic violence and drug abuse, of course, so that our society will rid of all these vices and will have a bigger and better, prosperous society and community that we can celebrate in time to come and again. Thank you all.
As you can see that in the society today, there are no jobs like that. But that is not a reason for anybody to go into drug activities, you know. So the NDLEA, they finish giving us the lectures, and our own duties here is to make sure we put some checks in place to reducing their activities. We'll form a task force to go after them not only going after them, we talk to them to, calm down. And any of them who wants to be useful to himself, that approaches us, we will assist to make sure the person become a human being in the society. The youth, like it goes, that the youth is the future of tomorrow. We'll keep talking to them, encouraging them to do those things that is, acceptable in the society and the government, so that they will be useful, because they need to take over from us, just like some of us have taken over from some of our fathers. They are no longer here today, but what they have done, we follow suit. If we didn't follow, they cannot say, you go and be our council chairman among all the people. Go and be the CDC chairman. So equally, some people will also grow after us to follow and take over. Some of us will go. We get old and die, and it continues. So we keep telling them the usefulness of being good. The reason why it must be good, it must be law-abiding. Do those things that your parents taught you to do to be good, because you cannot give away that being good, that is not bad at all. It always pays. Being good pays all the time, so that they should continue to remain good and be loyal to the society.
My interest is that the thing captured both the women, the mothers, the keke people. In fact, the crowd needed for this purpose, we saw them here today. So I want to commend the organizers of this program, because it will help our youth. Any youth that is affected by this drug addict, they wasted their generation. So it's important that we desist from it, and by the special grace of God, our people will turn a new leaf.
The fourth day of the festival featured cultural dance display by Rumuepirikom women and female youths, but not without the support of the male youths, who gave them the drum beats with which they displayed their beautiful dance steps. The event took place on Saturday, the 28th day of December 2019 at Rumuepirikom Civic Center.
Madam goodness, she was Diana as well. Madam Joy, she was Diana as well. Madam Joy.
The last day of the festival featured a novelty football competition in the evening hours of Sunday, 29th December 2019 at School of Health Science Technology, Port Harcourt, and a dinner and award night later the same day. The award night was organized in conjunction with River State Distinction Award, used to recognize sons and daughters of Rumuepirikom Kingdom who have contributed to the development of the kingdom in different ways. Top amongst recipients of the awards was the Executive Governor of River State, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, CON, GSSRS, POS Africa, for his contribution to the development and advancement of Rumuepirikom Kingdom, the chairman of Rumuepirikom Council of Chiefs, and under whose tenure the Rumuepirikom Festival was introduced, Chief Honorable Prince Weli Wosu JP was also honored by the River State Distinction Awards, in addition to the award given to him by Rumuepirikom Women for his contribution to the advancement of Rumuepirikom.
I'm about to present to you, or about to give this award. He's a friend, he's a father, he's a mentor, an icon. Very down to earth, but he's not short. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to make welcome Chief Prince Weli Wosu JP. Put your hands up for him. Our CEC chairman, put your hands up for him.
As the king of the youths.
The award night, which held at Rumuepirikom Civic Center, also featured music, comedy by top Nigerian entertainers, and dinner with guests from within and outside Rumuepirikom.
If I can dance again, match the Jamaica man again, Jamaica man, look at. Say, look, you know what I'm sorry. You never can understand. You see the dance, that day God really won't punish. They want the dance, peace, God hold up. They want the dance, they go toilets to no peace. You know Jamaica men, every man they go there, they carry God. Jamaica man, when they carry God, they dance, they pull up, they go to the toilet. As he said, they open the toilet door, and Jamaica man point at God. Say, good boy, 20 match day, in that one they pass for, you know what I'm saying? We not going to blow off your head this minute. I see them, when I see God, he have blow off. See them, they sleep out of all sins. Then I got to give me down. The next thing we'll be here at you. Because I'm a police man. I'm a friend of my mother. How am I going to speak about the family? I need Jamaica man competition for a conduct. Concern. So you know your number. They may be getting the system. Thank you very much.
What we're going to do for this culture to live, beyond our expectation is for every generation to practice what our forefathers has preserved. That is just the only thing to keep the culture and do what we are doing today. Our generation will come and go, but what I am appealing to our youth to imbibe, to key into this culture, so that our forefathers' dream wouldn't die.
And the next festival, by the grace of God, we look forward, updating ourselves and at the same time introducing new things to add to what we have before. Because if you keep doing same thing all the time, it will not be interesting, So we look forward to unveil more things that will make our people be happy more, so that it will be attractive. Every year we'll make sure we add something. Every year, just to add colors to what we are doing.
I'm happy with the Rumuepirikom community as a whole. I'm happy with the traditional institution. I'm happy with the women. I'm happy with the youth. Everybody teamed up together to revive the culture of our Ikwere land. With what they have demonstrated today, I'm very happy about it. And I know that our people will emulate from it. I'm taking the key from them, my own community, Woji. I will charge them to reinvigorate, go inside and bring what they used to know and how they used to do it best.
Just like you said, there's nothing that comes easy, nothing good that comes easy. In terms of sponsorship and other, where we get the resources for this, we spoke to ourselves. Who is who? We spoke to ourselves. Before we started, we called them and then we talked to ourselves, and they gave their commitment that yes, this is a good thing, that everybody will put on to make sure that we realize it. Just like this one now. The next year will continue like that, and it goes. In fact, they all commit to this. So I believe that every year they will be coming, because the kingdom may not have the purse, but the individuals in the kingdom who are giving their awards, they will be there for us.
For you to have seen the cream like cream here today and the kind of crowd you have seen here, it shows you that there is peace in the Rumuepirikom kingdom. And such, we encourage other communities to emulate what I have done here today, to enable them galvanize peaceful coexistence in their community, so that will enshrine a coexistence that will take them beyond this present dispensation.